Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. And I'm outside taking a walk because it's a very nice day. And also because it's a little noisy at the house. So I figured why not take a little nature walk on this little brief, hopefully brief video. But as you can see, I got my Ultraman hat and Ultraman shirt. So you know what that means? That means we're talking about Ultraman. But more specifically, Ultraman Rising. So this is a first impressions video, just kind of sort of getting my thoughts out there. I'm gonna not delve into spoilers. If I do accidentally spoil something, it'll be edited out. So, but I'm pretty good at not spoiling anything. But yeah, so I watched the movie at like 5 o'clock in the morning because I didn't feel like staying up till 3 a.m. to watch it, but I woke up early enough just to watch it while it was still dark enough, to see the TV. And I did sleep on the movie, literally as in I took a nap after I had breakfast and watched the movie. But, for initial thoughts out of the way, I thought it was really good. And I guess it sort of met my expectations, again, because it's like, I feel like I was getting really hyped for this movie, and yeah, I felt like it met my, expectations really well. I adore the animation. I think the animation was really good, but the highlight of the movie is the story and the characters. I really loved the story about Ultraman having to take care of a baby kaiju and having to delve with the story about fatherhood and all that. So, it was like, there's something going on in the background. I don't know what. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, no, it was, like, really, heartwarming story, and it also really felt true to the story of Ultraman. Ken was really great. Emmy was definitely one of the highlights of the movie. She was adorable. Like, seriously, one of the cutest baby kaiju I've ever seen. Sorry, Mothra. You've been dethroned. No, but seriously, like, Emmy was very adorable to watch. And not, she wasn't really like annoying. She had her baby moments because she's a baby, but no, she was adorable, and there were some Easter eggs for her, which is good. And yeah, there's plenty of Easter eggs for both Ultraman and other tokusatsu series littered out throughout the movie. I only watched the movie once, so I probably haven't caught them all, but I got a fair decent amount of fan service and Easter eggs. But no, like, this story does feel very much in line with Ultraman and what Ultraman is about. Not sort of this, trying to kill monsters and whatnot. Just being a hero for a hero's sake, but trying to, teach, humanity, a better way, or be the better example. And this is like a very intimate and personal story, because we do deal with like a very small cast, surprisingly. Even though it doesn't feel like it, sometimes it is a pretty small cast. But no, it was really great. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of just going off my own thoughts, trying to capture my feel, but But no, I really just appreciate the character of Ken, and I think Ken's story, and this might sound weird, but Ken's story reminded me a lot of Ultraman Zero's story. Now, this may be confusing to Ultraman fans because it's like Zero's, that's the parody Ultra. Which, yes, Zero is the parody Ultra. He was made to be a parody of Ultraman. But their stories are very similar in a way. For Ken is, a new Ultra who's not good at being an Ultra, essentially, And I feel like him and Zero have that in common where they want to be the best that they can, but they are also, they're struggling because they're very new to it. So they fail a lot early on before they eventually, overcome and their obstacles and succeed at being the hero or being Ultraman. There's sort of this they want to aspire to be something great. So that's something I appreciate. And admittedly, I haven't finished Cosmos. Yeah, I'm on episode 20 something. I need to get back to watching it. I've been really enjoying this series, but the movie also had sort of Cosmos vibes because the movie was more so about obviously when you're trying to care for a baby kaiju, you're not going to be a movie about gung-ho about killing kaiju. So there's that sort of preserving life aspect that is present in Cosmos. I wouldn't call Ultraman, say, a pacifist, but definitely more we don't really want to kill the kaiju. The aspect that was really intriguing was how this movie plays with the self-defense force. And again, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but we've had sort of defense teams or higher ups be antagonistics, but they're not the antagonists. So if my memory serves me right, or just from the number of Ultraman entries I've watched, this is the first time where the defense team were the outright villains. Yeah, we have a very interesting relationship between Ultraman and the defense team where they do not get along. The defense team does not want Ultraman involved, and that's such a really interesting element that it's interesting that's not really been an element in Ultraman's stories, again, as far as I recall. Even in Ultraman Blazar, where the higher ups were sort of this secret antagonist, they weren't in outright conflict with Ultraman. This movie, they are in direct conflict with one another. I also did a video early on, earlier, I don't remember when, I think it was last year, maybe, about Shin Ultraman and how humanity is the antagonist for that film as well. But again, this is with Blazar and Shin Ultraman, though humanity was more of an indirect antagonist rather than a outright antagonist like the defense force here. But this movie deals with legacy. It deals with generational trauma in a sense, or just it's a story about different generations and just finding balance. And I think Matt did a really good Matt Frank, artist Matt Frank. If you don't know him, but you know me, that's weird. But, no, he, put it best, where it's there's this really interesting thing, where it's in media, there's this sort of like aspect where, you know, parents have to sacrifice everything for their kids, you know, and screw self-autonomy. But this movie pushes back on that a little, not in the, like Matt said, not full on the other way, but more of like, no, the parents are their own people. They have their own interests, their own lives, you know, but they have to now balance it between like raising a kid, because it, like, the thing is, the movie does establish that Emmy, the baby kaiju, is Ken's responsibility. Like, no, you brought Emmy home. This is your responsibility now. You have to take care of her. You know, so it doesn't say like you can just brush off that responsibility. It's more like, no, there's a balance between you raising a child and you sort of just like being your own person. And that's what the movie's about. It's about balance. You know. The villain, Dr. Oda, he's okay, you know, he's not much in the character development, but I think it's fine. Like, his role as the villain is not really, like, there's no really, like, personal moments between the villain and Ken. But he does serve the role very well. Now, would it have been cool if he had a bit more of a character? Sure, you know, but I think he overall serves the role fine as the main outward, you know, antagonist. But the central conflict is mostly just, you know, is between Ultraman and having to find balance in his life. That is the main story of this movie, and it's a really interesting one. You know, other than the villain, my only other, I guess, complaint... Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted by saying a frog. These are fun videos to film. But anyway, I thought the ending was great, except was like really great and well done. I love the ending, but I do feel like at the very end, like the very end, like the ending of the ending, I don't know. I mean, it's not even like a major criticism or anything, but it does feel sort of like the movie wraps things up a little bit too nicely, where moments before it didn't feel like everything was going to be wrapped up so nicely. I won't go into spoilers, obviously. I'll save that for when I do a more spoiler-filled discussion. But yeah, you know, I would have liked to see some more consequences from the endings be fleshed out. I mean, again, you know, the ending's good. I love the ending. But it should have, I felt like we should have had, not everything should have wrapped up as nicely as it did. That's my own thoughts. I feel like I've talked a lot already. You know, we're 14 minutes, you know, into recording. And I feel like I'm going to get into spoilers if I don't shut up. But no, if you're an Ultraman fan, I think you're going to really enjoy it. If you're not an Ultraman fan, I also think you're going to enjoy it, because this isn't a movie that is like, hey, you need to know who Ultraman is. It's like, no. You are fine watching this movie without knowing who Ultraman is. Like, at most you just be like, oh, Ultraman is this figure, like this superhero, and the movie tells you what you need to know. So you're fine not knowing about the history of Ultraman. The movie gives you what you need to know for Ultraman. And if you're just a Tokusatsu fan, I think you'll enjoy it. You know, I've seen some somewhat, you know, not mixed opinions, but more so like lukewarm opinions would be the best way to thought, where it's like, oh, I like it, but just not as good as I thought. For me personally, I love this movie, and so far it might be my favorite movie of the year, but I'll definitely have to watch it movie a couple more times, and maybe probably not next week, but not next video, but the video after, I'll do my spoiler filled discussion. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comments down below, and as always, have a fantastic day. Take care and shwatch.